Hello and welcome to the morning after show. My name is Joshua Reimer. I'm sitting next to this guy that I don't know that's over there in this Green Bay Packers outfit. It's actually Jared Block, if you couldn't tell. And we're here for a little bit of a Christmas stream. Jared, how are you doing? And how is this Christmas stream treating you?
I'm actually happy for a day without football for one day. So, yeah, it's last stream of the year. Happy to have all you guys tuning in with us. Been an awesome last 3-4 months since we started streaming, so we figured we'd throw one last stream together for the rest of the 2021 calendar year. And yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, for those who don't know what's going on, it's our last stream of the year. Like Jared said, we're going to be giving away some Christmas prizes. We have a whole list here that I am looking at, and man, is it it's a lot, man. This prize list is going to be. We were talking about it before the show. We're giving something away every 7 minutes, which means 5 minutes until our next giveaway right now. And if we fall behind on this list, like it's gonna be a lot of giveaways to end the show, I guess.
Yeah, for real. We have a lot of stuff to get through. We also have a lot of time cues to hit.
Yeah.
And on top of all that, Josh and I may have spiked some drinks to go along with the 90-minute stream. So if we fall behind, it's all on you guys to keep us in line.
Yep, you guys have to keep us in line here. Someone asked, "Where's my ugly sweater?" Look, I did not expect Jared to go all out. I expected Jared. We talked about it yesterday. He said he was going to do the ugly sweater. I said I was going to do the Santa hat. But I think Jared went above and beyond here, so I think he's the one that wins. But anyway, we have some sports to still talk about, which is good times. It's a lot of Christmas stuff. We're talking about Christmas Day NBA, talking about Christmas Day NFL, and then we'll talk about what happened last night and talk about some NFL Sunday as well. Without further ado, Jared, are you ready to go? You ready to get this thing started, man?
I am ready.
All
90
right.
minutes. Here we go. This is going to be a longer stream because I don't think the other ones actually count for 90 minutes. So, D. Persiv says RR never falls behind. Yeah, dude. Never.
Never.
Ever. Yeah, let's get it going.
Yeah, Bacon says it's 10 a.m. Let's fucking go. 10 a.m. Let's fucking go, indeed. And
Goosey
uh,
said you have an ugly sweater on already.
you know what? I need y'all to stop, okay? I'm just gonna take all the presents and take them for myself. I'll be the Grinch here. If you guys keep talking about my Niners sweatshirt being my ugly sweater, y'all are the worst. Yeah, our funny little drink about having drinks this morning is that you said that you spiked your coffee, and I said, "Shit, I didn't know we were serious. Let me go see what I can find." This household is just alcohol ridden. We've not been drinking very much recently, but we do have a little bit of Malibu. So we poured some Malibu in some Diet Coke, which just it feels weird drinking it this early, but we're going with it, man. I felt I didn't want to feel alone. By the way, Will Harps, thank you for subbing a tier one. He also gifted a sub. Freaking go over there. Losing streak subbed at tier one. We greatly appreciate it. And Go Fryer subscriber prime again. Greatly appreciate you subbing. Let's talk about this first set of games. Let's talk about what happened last night on Tuesday Night Football.
Yeah, a lot better games than the other day. I say that, but it still felt really sluggish to start. So I don't know. I mean, it was okay. Jalen Hurts looked rough early on. Bad luck pick. I don't know if you guys watched that game, but really bad luck pick from Jalen Hurts early. Went off of Goddard's hands, then his foot ran into the defender's hands. So those things happen, but
No.
you do get credited with the turnover there. At the end of the day, he still came through hot. I thought that he was going to come in way less owned than Stafford was, which was right on Fanduel but wrong on Draftkings, which I don't know, didn't make sense to me really. But yeah, I mean Stafford had a decent game. Hurts had the better game, and he got 2 rushing touchdowns. So the one call that I made last night that I'm pretty happy about still to this day, looking back, everybody, the entire field was on Rashad Penny against the Rams, who have been bad against the run recently. But I don't know. You can never trust a Seattle running back, so I decided to fade him and play Miles Sanders, who felt like he was coming in underowned just because of all the running backs being back against that Washington football team front seven. So I don't know. I think I made the right call there, and if he gets one of those touchdowns, then it's a different story for us. But still managed to pick up both wins in the single game format, and then we had a takedown night on DK for the
Wow.
Rams showdown.
Very nice. Very nice. It's a good way to start out the holidays. Yeah, I thought that, Jalen Hurts really showed up. I thought it was kind of uncharacteristic of this Washington football team to give up so many rushing yards because you saw Sanders pop a lot off, 18 for 131. You saw Jordan Howard even have a good game, 15 for 69. And then Jalen Hurts did what Jalen Hurts does, and he even ran the ball a little bit. So collectively, this team had 200 plus, probably 225 plus rushing yards. That's not what we're used to seeing from this Washington football team. So give me your 20-second thoughts on that way so I can do a giveaway right after.
Yeah, final thoughts on that, really. I mean, the Eagles can win by running the ball. It's just whether they choose or choose not to. Their defense looked rusty last night, too. But people thought that Jalen Hurts might come in a little bit rusty. It wasn't the case last night, and he saved his job yet again, proving why he is better than Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, definitely proving why he's better than Gardner Minshew. First giveaway we are doing, since we have hit the 7-minute mark, is we are giving away a Fanduel voucher for next week. So if you would like a Fanduel, actually, no, we're not going to. I'm going to pick someone from the chat that's been interactive and has been in here and talking to us a lot. We are going to go with Arox892. Thank you for hanging out with us. We greatly appreciate it. We'll make sure to get you down, and you have to do nothing else. We'll make sure that Fanduel voucher gets to you next Friday. We have another giveaway happening in 6.5 minutes, so make sure to stay around. And the best way to stay around is to be active in the chat. So be active in the chat, and you definitely have a little bit more chance of winning something. But anyway, Jared, let's talk about the other game. Do you have any other thoughts on the Rams and the Seahawks?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, another game where people thought that DK Metcalf was going to destroy, and so did I, for what it's worth, and the ownership reflected that. But nothing really going on with Russell Wilson yesterday. 17 for 31, 156 and a pick. Offense couldn't move the ball, and if they did, it was on the ground or just through Hail Mary plays. Gerald Everett had a crazy sequence where he went off for a couple of huge catches. DK Metcalf really did nothing, 6 for 52 in a spot where they needed a win. I believe Seattle is officially eliminated from the playoffs now, after kind of stumbling their way through to get to this point in the first place. But yeah, the one guy that got the touchdown out of the running backs was DJ Dallas. Managed to somehow snag him on DraftKings for the showdown, so that helped on that side. As far as the Rams go, Cooper Kupp has a real shot, Josh, to break 2,000 receiving yards this season.
Yeah.
And if you were to tell me that like early on, I probably would have believed you actually, because we all came in with the hype of Cooper Kupp having a massive season, and that, looking back on that in hindsight, I think that the Cam Akers injury was the best thing that could have happened to Kupp this year.
Yeah, you're probably right. Man, I don't know how much I want a victor lap because I just remember that one draft night where someone
Yeah.
asked me like Woods over or Cup, and I was like Robert Woods for sure. Like I like them both. I said that I remember specifically saying that, but I definitely remember saying Woods over Cup. So there's that. I had a lot of Cup shares this year, and I'm sitting pretty in a lot of my leagues because of it. Um, let's that's insane that he's going to break 2,000 yards or has the potential to break 2,000 yards. What does he need to happen? Like, what does he need per game for the rest of the year to break 2K?
Yeah, I'm looking right now because it really just depends on what they do in the last game of the year if they need it, which I think they're trending towards actually having to do that. Right now, he has 625 receiving yards, and they have 3 games left. So
Oh,
there's it's going to be
that's
tough
a
to get there.
long shot, bro. I thought when
It's
you
going to be
said
tough to get there.
I thought like if you said like he needed like 130 plus yards for each game, I was like, all right, that's still a pretty long shot, but like I
Well,
could see it happening.
it's
It's
like you have, I think it's like 100. If he gets 170 yards a game, he gets there.
That's 625 is the coffee get.
1620. No, no,
Oh, he's at
1625.
1,625. All
Yeah.
right, so I thought you said he had 625 left over.
No,
No, it's not.
no, no,
It's
no.
not that far of a long shot. I think he can
Yeah,
get it. So,
yeah.
who does he have left? Because he has Indy, right? They have Indy at some point. I'm pretty sure.
They play the Vikings next.
Oh, the Vikings and the Ravens and then the Niners. So I mean, Ravens battered secondary. We've never respected the Vikings secondary. It could be maybe he ends up getting there. He probably ends up getting there actually. 125 a game is definitely solid. All right, anything else for Tuesday Night Football, Jared? If not, then we can move on to our Christmas segment of the show.
Yeah, nothing really. I would just say keep an eye on things for this weekend in terms of who needs to be eliminated and whatnot, but we'll go over those games here in a little bit.
Yeah. Josh is in the final of the low stakes league, says Life Agusti. That's a league where I don't have Cooper Cup though. Brandon O Sport says that, and there are still people who don't think he's the best Cooper wide receiver. I don't think it's even
Oh,
a contest between Amari Cooper and Cooper Cup. It seems pretty far, but he also said he lives in Texas, so maybe that explains a little bit of it. Boucher says Cup MVP chances. This is something that always has blown my mind, right? Because Jonathan Taylor has been a big MVP candidate that everyone's talking
yep,
about. Now it seems like it's Rodgers is most likely going to win it, but no one ever talks about Cooper Cup having an MVP year. That's exactly what he's had too, an MVP
yep.
year.
Right now, he's plus 1,200 to win the MVP, and that's tied with Patrick Mahomes. His QB, Matt Stafford, is plus 1,000, so he has better odds than him. Jonathan Taylor has three pretty decent matchups, and he does get the Houston Texans one more time, too,
Oh,
which should bump up his stock a little bit. Tom, we'll see. We'll talk about Tom versus Aaron here in a little bit, but right now, Aaron's got the lead at plus 145. There will be arguments made over the next couple of weeks saying, oh, but Tom is doing it with so and so receiver, Brashad Perriman and Scotty Miller, Tyler Johnson. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers just beat the Cardinals with no Devontae or Lazard or anybody. So,
no.
take it for what it's worth.
For sure. Devonte Adams still numero uno according to New Edition, and he said, "You're welcome, Jared." So there you go. You have that at the very least. All right, let's talk about some Christmas Day NBA. I said to myself before the stream that I needed to pull up these games, and I still haven't done it. So what games do we have on Christmas?
Yep, a couple of games on Christmas right now. I believe we have five as of right now. The Hawks and Knicks are the first game on the slate that starts at 11 a.m. Central Time, so it starts at noon Eastern. Uh, I don't remember them having five games. I remember them having like four or three. Five seems
Mm,
like more this year than normal.
I think five was at least last year. I don't know about before, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure five is pretty normal for them.
Okay, fair enough. Well, this is the first. This is an Eastern Conference semifinal matchup. Both of these teams have underperformed recently. Right now, the I wish that we had odds for these games, but we don't. So I would just assume that the Knicks are favored as long as Trae Young is out. I think Trae Young is going to miss on Saturday, or yeah, Saturday. So I guess we'll get the chat's thoughts on that. But give me the Knicks here, and I think that a lot of this just kind of depends on what happens with value. Do you feel like Kemba Walker's going to come in as one of the top value pieces on this slate?
Probably if you see Derrick Rose still ruled out. I mean, he could definitely be a guy that holds a lot of ownership. I think that you got to consider attacking that Hawks team when you consider the fact that their defense has been, or the Knicks defense has been awful. So maybe it's a Trey Young type of day. He's in the Garden too, so we all know that narrative. We all know how it went last year when he was in the Garden, and a lot of New York Knicks fans don't like Trey Young. So maybe that'll make Trey Young bring his game. That first game's really good, man. It seems like there's going to be a lot of DFS viability around it, especially based on what like NBA COVID protocols look like that day.
Yeah, you're not kidding. The first couple of games on the slate look like that. So
No.
I guess that's kind of where it's strange because right, like nobody's gonna want to really pay attention to news on this day, and so I think that you especially have being the provider for that day is going to have tremendous edge when swapping and things like that. So I would expect a lot of things to happen beforehand, and the Celtics and Bucks are in the same boat in the next game after. 1:30 there, Bucks at home. I don't really know if they'll be favored because I'm not sure if Giannis is even playing on Christmas. Maybe he'll try to give it a go, or maybe he's not even going to be ruled in at that time. So I'm interested to see what the direction the Bucks make here. They're going to play up to the Celtics, obviously, but they're dealing with their own personal things. So how much better is this game fantasy wise than the first one?
Oh, geez, not much. I will say, maybe we get some vintage Joe Johnson action on
Yeah,
NBA
yeah.
on Christmas because we got the news earlier this morning before we launched the stream that Joe Johnson is on the Celtics team now. So, hard, like we talked about, hardship exceptions are gonna bring in a lot of names that were like, holy crap, it's him. It's that veteran that's playing that we all remember watching 10 years ago and absolutely dominating. Like, you'll see a lot of that, I think coming into the NBA very soon. Before we move on, though, and before we talk more about this game, I have to give away another present because I'm already late. This is gonna be really difficult, man. This is gonna be something else. I'm 2 minutes late for this one. We're giving away 25 bucks cash. I saw someone say that it's a little bit hard for them to end up being active in the chat because they're driving. So I'm trying to find that person, and I don't think I'm going to be able to. Maybe they'll get another prize later on. Um, yeah, maybe we'll have them. We're gonna give it to Dad Runk Bigfoot, because he's a first time viewer. So thank you for being a first time viewer. You won 25 bucks cash. Make sure to what should they do to claim that, Jared?
If you can find us on Discord, that would be great. You can DM either Josh or myself. We're at the top of the RotoRadar server, which I will drop the link in here right now.
Yep. Make sure to DM us and we'll get you taken care of. Joe Johnson been dominating the big three leagues. See, now that I did not know, but hey, it is what it is. What do you think about this Joe Johnson signing?
I think it's I wouldn't say it's a joke, but it's like I don't know. Like what else are we supposed to like you have to laugh a little bit, right? So
Yeah.
he's fine. I think he still probably has game, but he'll probably just be used as a emergency bench piece.
Yeah, most likely that's what his role will end up being. So it's going to be interesting to watch. You know, maybe if he does get into that starting lineup somehow, some way, we end up playing Joe Johnson in 2021. What a sentence to come out of my mouth. All right, next game, Warriors and Suns. This has been one of the most anticipated matchups. We've already seen it twice, and they've split. And now you get to see the third iteration of the matchup. So, is this the game you're most excited for on Christmas, or is it going to come from that 8 p.m. slot?
Ooh, I don't know. Well, it depends on how the Nets approach this game, but this is definitely the one that's probably the least fantasy viable, yet the best game on paper. What time is this game?
5 p.m. Eastern, I
Oh,
think.
I'll be watching the Packers. Sorry, maybe I'll
Oh,
catch
there
this
you
one
go.
later.
Yeah, that makes
I'll
sense.
catch the second half of this one. That's the only time that's going to matter anyway. But yeah, I like this one. This is like prime time. Like put the game on during dinner or something while you're opening or while you're opening presents if you do dinner a little bit earlier. But yeah, this one's definitely the best game on paper. Protocols aside, you can make an argument for the next one, but I think this one takes the cake. Maybe Steph can jump out here. Devin Booker's going to be back for the Suns, but yeah, just kind of comes down to what Warriors are in protocols because from what I remember, the Suns are doing a pretty good job of staying out of that.
Yeah, they excuse me, they definitely have done a good job staying out of that. So you're not gonna see a lot of COVID protocols on that team. And honestly, like the Warriors are dealing with Poole and Wiggins. They might be back for that game. It might be the end of their COVID protocol by that point. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there for that Christmas Day slate. I know the game that I'm the most excited about, Nets and Lakers. It's going to be a good one. Hopefully, this game isn't canceled because it would just break my heart. But there definitely is a possibility of that with the Nets having canceled every game up to this one. What do you think of the chances that we actually see this play?
I think it's almost 100%. I know people have their mixed emotions on it. I know you guys talked about it on the podcast for like 20 minutes yesterday. But I think this game plays. I think all these games play on Saturday, and when you'll start to see things regress is when all the teams come back on Sunday and Monday because it does help them that 2/3 of the league get off Friday and Saturday, and even some teams are off on Sunday. So I think that we'll see a lot of this stuff start to unfold come early next week. But right now, I think all games play on Saturday, and I know that they put out that report yesterday, but I think that was just you know getting two steps ahead of themselves. I think they're going to do whatever they can to make sure those games play. Like, can you imagine not having the Lakers play on Christmas? Like, it's
No.
just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I've watched every Christmas Day Lakers game in for the past 15 plus years. And so like it would be very sad for me to not have my Lakers on Christmas Day. That would be a little bit heartbreaking. So we'll have to see. Hopefully they're able to get that game in. The last game, kind of a boring one from a DFS perspective, I guess, but a fun one in real life. Mavericks at Jazz. This Jazz team has stayed pretty healthy when it comes to COVID protocols. This Mavericks team has not. What do you think about this last game?
Yeah, it's kind of a sleeper, kind of a snoozer, but I think people will try to play this one in DFS. But yeah, for me, it's more about like people are going to prioritize early on. So In tournaments, it's not the worst idea to kind of, throw some bones at the Jazz players in case one of them or two of them go off in this spot. Do you think KP's injury is long term, or do you think he's just out and coming back?
I think he's out and coming back. The question is, will it be that soon? Just don't know yet. It's too far out to really tell. So, it's going to be hard to really analyze that game until we know that injury news on that side. I Bacon makes a good point. Jazz so healthy because Rudy Gobert already gave it to them all early on in the pandemic. So
Thanks.
there you go. Someone said Steve Nash will suit up to get his revenge against the Lakers. It would not surprise me. Uh, Jared looks like he has a good poker hand. That's funny. That's a 10 out of 10 right there. He has to. Oh, okay. Someone's giving away mac. Someone keeps talking about mac and cheese in the chat. Brandon,
Oh yeah, Lou's making mac and cheese.
Lou's making mac and cheese for the VA vets, so that's really awesome. 300 pounds of it though. That's a lot of damn mac and cheese. Uh, KP is just like AD. They are both made of glass. Ow, my heart hurts there. What do you think about that comment? KP is just like AD.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We didn't talk about this the other day, and I've been trying to find a way to get it in the schedule, but we haven't had time. He said that he had felt a pop and he thought that he thought his season was over, right?
Yeah,
That's what he said. So, I mean, what is he out? A month?
yeah, a month.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know. It sounds to me like everything's shaping up for a LeBron Christmas special. That's what it
Yeah,
sounds like.
yeah, it seriously does. Especially after losing last night, man. I know he got injured last night a little bit. He played through that bad ankle. I'm sure he was pissed off. It definitely might be a Christmas LeBron showing for sure. Dear says we have. Oh wow, that's crazy. AD is infinite times talented. I would definitely agree with that. That I'd have
Oh
AD
yeah.
over KP any day of the week. All right. Anything else that we want to talk about for Christmas Day? It sucks that we don't have odds because I'd love to get underdog mentalities from like every single segment we're going through, but we're just gonna have to wait for this one.
Yeah, I mean, home court advantage at Christmas is pretty insane. So I wouldn't be surprised if most of these home teams did cover, but we'll see. I think it's time for the next prize, though.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we've already ran over. We're 3 minutes over the next prize. Geez, I told you, man, I'm gonna be terrible with this. But the next prize is going to be 100 Roto Radar bucks. You love to see it. Those Roto Radar bucks are going to help you get season passes from Roto Radar, and there's some pretty sick season passes. I know MMA's coming up in 2022, and you got to renew your pass for that. And Roto Radar bucks, 100 of them gets you a third of the way there. So you almost have MMA for a full season. Raptors and Bulls were just postponed as well. Well, people are in the chat hyping up the prize. Do you want to talk about that really quickly?
Well, since I'm providing tonight, that makes things a little bit less exciting
Yeah.
because this game was definitely going to be one where I would have had 100% exposure to DeMar DeRozan, but it's all good. Would have been an awesome, not even revenge. It's just like, you know, he was still. I still think he holds a grudge to the Raptors, but that's just me. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that game just now takes the slate to 5 games. So I don't think that we'll have any issues with playing the rest of them. But it makes a lot of sense that the only team that's from Canada, who's going through some massive, massive stuff right now, is postponing the game. That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, definitely does make perfect sense. All right, we're gonna give this 100 Roto Radar bucks to Big Red 6069. Thank you very much for listening. And for that, is that just something that we just take care of, Jared?
Yeah, that is something that we just take care of. We will make sure to connect with Anthony on that and get the our Bucks sheet updated. Who was the winner there?
Big Red 6069.
Perfect. If your Twitter name is different from your Discord name, we'll just reach out and make sure that's all connected to you.
Yes, we definitely will. All right. I'm sending you a message in Discord if you can look at that really quickly. But anything else for Christmas Day NBA? If not, we get to talk about my Niners game, which I'm going to and I'm pumped up for.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk Thursday Night Football.
Yes, let's talk Thursday night football as we have the 49ers facing off against the Titans. This is back-to-back weeks of really good Thursday night football games. I guess I am a little biased, but I think the majority of the league would probably conclude that this is a good game against two really good teams. Both are on different tracks though right now. The Niners are going up. Niners have had a few really good games, and Jimmy G's been playing the best quarterback he's played all year. And then you have the Titans who are going the complete opposite way and have not looked good recently, especially with all the injuries they've had to deal with. So, what are your thoughts, at least, of momentum coming into this game?
Momentum is all towards the Niners right now. Titans had a really, really rough loss to the Steelers, and it should not have lost that game. They've been slipping for a while, and it seems like maybe I'm too early on this news. Maybe I'm spot on. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I'm pretty sure that Julio Jones re-injured himself and he's possibly done for the year. Maybe I'm over exaggerating on that. Maybe that's already out. So help me out here because I don't remember exactly, but I know he hurt himself again, and he probably is not playing this week, if not the rest of the regular season. They wait for Derrick Henry to come back for another week, 2 weeks. Maybe they bring him back too early because they're going to start to be in trouble soon
Yeah.
if they keep losing. So I believe the loss this week will take them to 8-6. Is that
The loss for the Titans,
yeah?
it'll take them to 9-6.
Okay, 9-6. All right, nine's better spot.
I mean, you
But
say
still, I
that
mean,
they're like the Colts. If they win, I don't know. It's a long shot that the Colts end up winning this week. Sorry,
it's
my
a long
camera's
shot for
moving.
them. Yeah,
But if they do end up winning, like they tied a division, and I think the Titans have the tiebreaker if I remember correctly.
they do. They won both.
Mm.
Yeah. So Tennessee, I would never underestimate them at home, especially off a loss. Vrabel is a very, very good head coach. I mean, they're both extremely competent head coaches. I just I worry about the Niners on the road sometimes, especially in weather adverse conditions. So, do you want to just share your thoughts? Because you'll be at this game, right?
Yes, I will be at this game. I have nice tickets to this game. Was a birthday present since my birthday's in a few days. So I'm super excited. I don't think there's weather problems, are there? I honestly, I guess I could just look
No,
at
no,
my
no.
own.
Just more of like, they just don't play as well in the weather.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying there. I don't know. I think that at the end of the day, momentum is everything. And that's what you get from this 49ers team. You get a team that is really hot right now. I think you have a Jimmy G where he's really preparing to get moved in the offseason and he wants to go somewhere nice and he's elevating his play a little
Yeah.
bit. So I think that's what you're really seeing from Jimmy G, and I think everything's working out perfectly for this team. Eli Mitchell could potentially be back. I think it's going to be a big day for this Niners team. I think that this Niners defensive line has so many advantages against the Titans offensive line. Even though the Titans offensive line is really good, this Niners defense has been incredible over the past few weeks. So I'm excited. I think the Niners get a dub here, but I'm a big homer and I'm really rooting for them to get a dub. So take it for what it's worth.
They definitely have the momentum, like we said. I will say, like, if he's trying to move somewhere nice and warm, there's only one spot that's open right now, and that team plays in a dome. So,
No.
how mad would you be if they? Well, I don't think you'd be mad at all because you have Trey Lance, but Jimmy G in Houston, how would that go?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I'll let Sean enjoy him. That's perfectly fine by me if Jimmy G goes to Houston. I don't think it work. I don't think Jimmy G will work out anywhere. Can we talk about that for a second? No matter
Yeah,
where he goes, whether the Steelers, whether the Texans, whether wherever, I think he struggles.
yeah. Right after I say this, we're going to do the next prize, but
Yes, we
I
are.
will say that the one place that he would have worked out pretty nicely, looking back, New England. That'd be a pretty good spot for him.
Yeah, yeah, New England would have been a pretty good spot for him, man. Imagine getting an early start on that Mac Jones run. Because I mean, Jimmy G's the same player as Mac Jones essentially. I think Jimmy G would have worked out just fine in New England. All right, next giveaway because I'm already 2 minutes late again. 100 Roto Radar bucks. We're doing it again. So nice, we had to do it twice. So if you want 100 Roto Radar bucks, comment in the chat. When it comes to DFS for this Christmas Day or not Christmas Day, the Niners game, single game DFS. What play are you most excited for? What play looks like a good MVP play?
A good MVP play for Thursday Night Football. It's
No.
gross because you have to decide between two quarterbacks that are immobile. So
Yeah,
um,
have fun. I
I
mean,
think AJ
Tannehill's not
Brown is going to be
immobile.
back.
I think
You're
that's
right. I
mean.
mean, he can get the job done. It's just do they choose to. By the way, we didn't talk about the fact that they were using I know that Foreman got hurt during the game, but like they were using Hilliard even before that
Hmm.
tremendously. Um, it just seems like that's going to be a three-man backfield, which is really disappointing to say the least. So it makes things even harder.
Yeah.
As far as I don't know, Niners are actually in the same boat too. Give me, you know what? I'm gonna keep riding this narrative. I think that Deebo Samuel does have, he does make NFL history this year as the only wide receiver to lead their team in running and rushing touchdowns.
Of course, only from a 49ers team would something like that happen. We got a little update a couple days ago. We were because before the season we were talking about how this Niners team they're gonna have over 500 rush attempts on the year, and neither one of us had looked at it in quite a while. And we saw in the last game, well, they got 40. They got to be getting close, or they're nowhere near it. Do you remember that exact number that they're at? It's like 430 or something, right?
Yeah, they're already over 400 carries for the year.
Insane. And we still have 3 weeks left. So, in case you were wondering, we definitely nailed that take. Niners are definitely going to run the ball 500 times this season. All right, giving out this $100 for Roto Radar bucks, 100 Roto Radar bucks here. We are going to give it to um we're gonna give it to Mills9042. There you go. Thank you for hanging out with us this morning. Keep hanging out with us. We still have, I think we've only given away 4 prizes, so we still got 8 to go, and the juiciest are yet to come, including a season pass. Season pass is coming up in 2, but we have a lot of fun stuff to give away. So make sure to stick around. All right, we're still on the Niners game. Is there anything else you want to comment here? What are the odds? I guess that's the most interesting thing for me.
Yeah, it's the Niners are 3.5 point favorites on the road.
Wow. I don't know, man.
I think that comes down a little bit.
I feel like that's a little trappy, is what I'm feeling. Like I do,
That's what it feels like. Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know how to feel about that, but it does feel trappy. That's for sure. What's the over under?
44. So
Wow.
that's a bad number. Like
Yeah.
it feels exactly where it should be. I
Yeah.
feel like this game is 24-20. It's going to be close. I don't think either team really has an, it's just whoever's defense shows up, honestly.
Yep. I would tend to agree with that. All right. Let's talk about some Christmas Day NFL because now we finally get to talk about your Packers. We also get to talk about the other game on Christmas Day. But I am pulling this up in front of me. Do you want to give your first thoughts on the Packers game?
Yeah, we have Cleveland Browns taking on the Packers right now. Green Bay is getting 7 points at home. The total sits at 44. No weather right now for this game. It's going to be around mid 30s in Green Bay. So, like, Cleveland is playing in a cold weather city as well. So, there's no real advantage there. The advantage is the home field that the Packers have on Christmas with the fan base they have. So, that's where everything is at this moment. I actually have a few relatives going to this game this
Nice.
season. So that's fun. Actually, I had to turn down. My brother and I had to turn down tickets for it. But it is what it is. I'm cool with watching it at home, honestly. Um,
Unless you have
yeah,
really good seats, it's better at home anyway. Especially on,
yeah.
especially on a
That's
holiday.
always how I view the NFL product, right? Like,
Yeah.
where are the actual good seats?
Hmm.
So I mean, unless you're in a box or a suite or something, it's cool to be in the front row. I've done it before. But I was also like a kid, and like the guy, you couldn't see over the players that were standing
Oh
on the
no,
sideline. So
that's awful.
that was cool. It was cool, but it was
Yeah.
like I can't see the game. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is what
For
it is
sure.
there. But yeah, Packers right now they're getting 7 points. It feels like this number is too low. It does feel like something where it should be 9, maybe 10. Given the loss the Browns just had, we don't know if Baker Mayfield's going to play. It might be another spot start for Nick Mullins. The Browns defense is playing better, which I think is why the spread is where it is, but I just don't see how they're going to keep up on offense. So give me your thoughts there. I know you didn't watch the Browns game the other day, but 13 points against the Raiders in that system just isn't going to get the job done against Green Bay.
Yeah, it screams shutout versus Green Bay is what's going to happen. I mean, if you seriously do have Nick Mullins and you saw how anemic this offense was against the Raiders of all teams, one of the worst defenses in the NFL, you just got to imagine that the Packers should steamroll here and be exquisite on defense, especially with the home crowd advantage. Like you're right. It doesn't feel like it should be -7. This feels like it should be getting up towards probably closer to double digits, like -10. Um, I wonder if Vegas is just hesitant because the Browns might have Baker Mayfield. Do you think things change that much with Baker Mayfield at the helm instead of Nick Mullins?
No, I actually think Baker's worse at this point of the year
There
with
you
the
go.
injuries he's had coming off of COVID again. Like, I don't know, he hasn't been able to practice in like 2 or 3 weeks, right? So
No,
that's kind of where I see that happening with the Browns. So I think it's a clear Packers -7. I would get it right now while you can because I do think it bumps up tremendously once we get news that Mullins could possibly start. Whoever starts, I don't think it really matters. But if it's not Baker Mayfield, the point total is going to go up tremendously for Green Bay. Also, two things on this. First, though, I'm going to tease the next prize, which you'll see here. Put it up in the front of the camera. I
there you
got
go.
two Ticketmaster cards. They're valued at $50 total. That's going to be our next prize to somebody. But as we wrap this game up, I will just say that Aaron Rodgers specifically has one touchdown left, or he is tied with Brett Favre right now for the all-time touchdown leader for Green Bay franchise history. The other guy who could break a record this year, Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams is tied with Jordy Nelson for the all-time receiving touchdown record for Green Bay. So what are the chances that I could get a prop of Devontae Adams' first touchdown scorer on the day? I think that they both break a touchdown record in the first quarter on Saturday. I'm actually looking at that right now and see if that's up
No.
for us.
I'd be very interested to see it. Yeah, I'm kind of sad you took my. I was gonna go over to talk about that Ticketmaster card and say you can be Jared for if you get one of these Ticketmaster cards and be that kid in the front row that can't see the game.
There
But
you go.
yes, giving away these Ticketmaster gift cards, totaling $50. We have a lot of cool prizes, man. I'm excited. Big boy 422 or 427 subbing at tier 1. We greatly appreciate it. We are going to give this to uh man, I feel bad. Now I'm forgetting who have already. Oh no, wait. I have a cheat sheet here from you. Um Okay. We're gonna give this to Go Friars 33. Thank you very much, Go Friars, for hanging out with us. We greatly appreciate it. And there's plenty more to come, so please don't step away. We still have plenty more giveaways to do. All right. This I've been paying attention to giveaways and everything. It's hard to keep up with you and talking about these games. But yes, Packers definitely should be favored a little bit more, and I'm on the same train with you there. I think I'm more interested in the second game of the day though, because you have the Colts, you have the Cardinals. 7:15 start time for this game on NFL Network, and these are two teams that, well, I guess you could say it's something similar to where with the Niners and Titans. Cardinals seem like they've been going on a downhill trend for quite a while, and this Colts team seems to be getting better and better each week behind their lead running back Jonathan Taylor. Talk to me about this game. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, this is definitely the better game of the two Christmas Day slates. Probably the best game in general if you're counting NBA as well. So I think that there's many things going on here. Playoff implications, division titles. If the Colts lose, they lose out on their chance to, it was already thin to begin with, but they lose out on their chance to win a division if they lose in this game. Arizona's struggles have been on at home this year. They've played very, very well on the road. The only time that they lost all season it was against the Lions last week on the road. So the Cardinals are coming in struggling at home. They're coming off of a really bad loss. Which if they would have beat the Cardinal, if they would have beat the Lions, I would have felt more comfortable about the Colts here. But it's kind of hard to get behind that take now after they got steamrolled. And it wasn't just a fluky thing either. We didn't talk much about the Arizona Cardinals Lions game last week, but it was not something that was like fluky at the end of the game. It was a total destruction and decimation of the Cardinals. Like they had nothing. And Jared Goff looked like an MVP candidate out there last week.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's why I don't feel comfortable betting the Colts side. I know that Jonathan Taylor is matchup proof. He can do literally whatever. Um, and I do think that this team can get run on. They looked horrible last week, and I just don't know how fast you can fix things, but I do think there will be extra motivation there on the Cardinals side. We'll say again, they're 3-3 at home this year, 7-1 on the road are the Arizona Cardinals. For the Indianapolis Colts, they are 4-4 at home, 4-2 away. So a little bit better record away, but they haven't played all their away games yet. So I don't know. They're coming off 2 wins in a row. Do you feel like there's any shot here? It's a pick 'em, so I mean, if it was a neutral site, I think that they would give the edge towards the Colts, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, when you look at what this Colts team has done, they've had two really good back-to-back games where they beat the Patriots. That's a huge win to beat the Patriots, and then you also beat the Texans. You kept it close with the Bucks. You beat the Bills. Like you look at the games that this Colts team has had, and you look at if we looked at this team 4 weeks ago, and we saw you have the Bills, Bucks, Texans, and Pats coming up. We would probably say they're going to lose three out of those four games, most likely, and they've done exactly the opposite. You know, they're winning a lot. They're going to win three out of this 4 game stretch, and I think the Cardinals should be able to add another win here. Look, this Cardinals team just doesn't look right, man. Like if you watched that Lions game, you were just thinking like things could not get started for anything. And maybe it was a look ahead situation. I talked about it the last time we saw them lose against a bad opponent. It was kind of a look ahead situation as well with them facing off against the Panthers. But it's just I don't know. It's tough to say that this Cardinals team is going to win. If I want to put my money on a team, I'm definitely putting it on the Colts because again, momentum is everything, and that's what the Colts have.
Yeah, Chris coming through with the hot take here. The Colts were 1.5 point dogs yesterday, and now
There
they
you
were
go.
bet all the way down to a pick 'em. So,
No.
kind of tells you where the momentum's coming for this game. I would expect more money to be put on the Cardinals come Saturday night, but I do think that the Colts carry tremendous dog upside.
Yes, I would agree that they do definitely carry some big dog upside. All right, I think I'm gonna do this one on time. Here we go. All right, we have another giveaway to do. It's 42 minutes. It's the sixth giveaway here. We are giving away an NBA League Pass. All thanks to Goosty over there, one of our team members. NBA League Pass lets you watch every NBA game that you can possibly imagine, except for the ones in market. But it's a really good tool. I know I use it all the time to keep up with DFS and stuff, and it's a lot of fun to be able to watch. So NBA League Pass being given to someone here. We are going to give it to D Ramified. Congratulations. Shoot Goosty a DM on Discord, and he'll get you all set up with your NBA League Pass. Jared, what else do we have to talk about here?
Yeah, let's just bring up some. Let's see if we can find some playoff odds really quickly while we wrap this thing up.
Oh,
I know we have to talk about the Sunday slate here, but while we're talking about these Christmas games, let's just see if there's anything that we have. They don't have the whole like this team to make the playoffs at this kind of thing anymore.
uh
Those
huh.
those props are dead. But the odds to win the AFC Championship and NFC Championship are still up. I can also look at division futures as well. So let's look at division first. There's only two teams that are up here for the AFC South, which is pretty obvious why. Tennessee Titans right now are getting minus 700. What happens to these odds if the Titans lose and the Colts win? Because there's a real situation where that happens.
If the Titans lose and the Colts win, you probably see it evenly odded, right? You probably see it minus pretty close to evenly to both sides. Like I feel like that's going to be huge for those divisional odds, but the divisional odds, I feel like they don't reflect how actually close. It makes me think what was the do the Titans hold the tiebreaker
Yeah,
here?
they won both games this year.
Okay, so they won both games. I guess that technically puts them 2 games behind. I still don't think it's. I think the Titans are really reeling right now with so many guys injured, and I'm curious. They face the Niners, the Dolphins, and the Texans. I think the Niners and Dolphins could end up winning against them. So I mean, if Colts win the next two, then they have the lead, and they could bring it into the end of the year. So I don't know. I understand why it's here, but I also kind of am wondering why I don't have money on plus 450.
Yeah, like I said, it's a long shot, but you're not betting Titans at this price tag. So I
No.
do think that the Colts, like if you want, if the Titans lose and the Colts win, like maybe it's a good opportunity to bet the Titans again. Who knows? Keep an eye on that. But I do think that the Colts have a long shot, but I do think they're a really, really strong playoff team, and there's a chance that both of these teams get to face each other, depending on what happens over the next 3 weeks. As far as the AFC North goes, Bengals are actually in the lead here, according to Bet Online. They are plus 125. They have a tough matchup this week as well, which we'll get to in a little bit. Ravens fall to plus 160, and they actually got knocked out of the playoff spots, so they're in the hunt right now. Browns plus 600, play on Christmas. Steelers plus 750. All these teams are still alive, and actually, any of these teams, barring strange circumstances, have a chance to win the AFC North through week 15. So it doesn't happen very often where there's still four teams competitively fighting for the title. So give me your thoughts on what the AFC North looks like.
Yeah, kind of a mess, but I mean, like a good mess. This has proved to be one of the most competitive divisions in football this year, and you've seen all these teams kind of go back and forth. So a lot of these teams have divisional matchups. So we will know this pretty soon. I think Cincy plays against the Bengals, or Cincy plays against the Ravens at some point, and I know the Browns have a divisional matchup at the end of the year too. So you're going to see this figured out, but it's going to be a really fun battle, and you're going to see a lot on the line with a few of these games.
Agreed. This is also going to come down to the last week of the year too. Like it's just
Yeah.
bound to. Um, anyway, the AFC East, Patriots favorites here at -175, Bills +130 after slipping for many weeks, and the Dolphins are on the outside looking in with +8,000 odds to win the division. So I don't know what it would take to get there. I guess we'll see, but they would for sure have to win out, and then I think both of the other teams would have to lose out in order to get there. The Dolphins are playing the Saints on Monday night. Then they go and face the Titans. Both those games are on the road. Then they host the Patriots. So,
Yikes.
yikes! That's a rough schedule for the Dolphins. +8,000. Would you buy into it?
No, absolutely not. No, thank you. I will pass.
Hey, they
Though,
are. They're
hey,
7-7 though.
I will say one thing. They always get a win against the Patriots, like every single year, and they haven't got their win yet. So maybe you see it in that last week of the season, and maybe you see them sneak in there. I don't know, but I think if it comes down to it, it's the last week of the season. It's whoever wins the division between the Patriots and the Dolphins. I think Bill Belichick will come prepared.
I would assume so. They have won six in a row though, so just don't count them out
Well,
for
yeah, for
playoffs
sure.
yet.
No, you're not wrong. That is definitely true. All right, really interesting divisional odds. I think the Patriots at -175 might be a bet too. I actually like those odds right there, and I think that loss against the Colts isn't anything to be worried about. But conference futures, you have the Chiefs as the favorite to come out of the AFC, and you have the Packers, your favorite to come out of the NFC. So what are you thinking here? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think the major reason why those things are where they are is the Patriots have just played excellent second half football, and they're going to continue to. They have a pretty soft schedule the rest of the way outside of that last week, which I think is tougher than people will make it out to be. And then the Packers, they have a very favorable schedule the rest of the way. I believe it's Browns, Vikings, Lions, or yeah, Browns, Vikings, Lions is what it is. So very simple for them. I do think that one loss that could come out of this would be the Vikings. I do think that they just have their number at least once a year. Now we saw that earlier in the year, and this one's going to be at Lambeau. But I do think that that's gonna pose a tough challenge because it's probably it could be a win or go home spot in the playoffs for the Vikings if they were to not win this week. So we'll see how it goes. It's also the Packers are favored because the Bucks lost last week and they lost a bunch of their star players. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. It looks like the playoffs are going through Green Bay, um, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we will have to wait and see. It'll definitely be fun to watch as the season comes to a close, but it's going to be solid, man. I think this Packers team. I think these both the Chiefs and the Packers are rightful favorites in their own conferences, right? Like it doesn't feel like anyone else should really be up there. Maybe you can make a case for the Bucks before their injuries, but now that they're so injured, it's hard to say so. And then Patriots probably can't make a case of Mac Jones at the helm, but Patriots definitely have a shot of making the AFC, of winning the AFC Championship. So there is that. All right, anything else for Christmas Day NFL? And if not, let's move on to NFL Sunday. Talk about some of the games that are happening then.
No, just a quick housekeeping, and then we can give away our next prize. We're going to be doing something very similar to what we did for Thanksgiving and what we've done over the past couple days here with the spread out island games. I will be providing for all NFL members for the Christmas slate, the two gamer, that's the all day slate, and then showdown and single game for each respective game. So we'll have about six slates for that day.
Roto Radar working on Christmas, baby. Because I know I'll be working on Christmas for NBA. You'll be working on NFL. and we gotta provide the content, and I'm excited for it. I've told you this several times. Nothing is better than providing content on Christmas Day, at least for the NBA, and I hope the same goes for NFL for you. But we have another pass to give away, and this time, well, another prize, but it is a season pass. It's a season pass to the 2022 MMA season. We just ended 2021. It was a huge success. We ended up having a great year on DraftKings. There's going to be a few changes made. We're also, if you get this season pass, little birdie told me that there's a chance, and a very good chance, that we have an MMA season pass chat room this year. Have some fun things that I'm going to include in that. Going to be watching film with me and helping in watching me break down film on certain fighters, getting prepared for fight week. I plan on making that something that we do every single week. And there's a lot of things that I'm going to implement in that chat room that I'm really excited about. So MMA season pass for the 2022 season. Let's see, who are we going to give it away to? You know what? I've given away enough. Jared, you have the chat room in front of you. You give it away to someone.
I figured you were going to ask me this, which I
Go.
wasn't going to be prepared for anyway. Yeah, all right, let's go. He's had 2 comments in the past 5 seconds, 3 in the last 10 seconds. So we'll give it to Fatty McGee, 5.
There
Congrats,
you
sir.
go. Congrats indeed. We will get in touch with you when we make the new package for the 2022 season. That first fight night, Qatar versus Chikadze, going to be a lot of fun. And then you got Gon versus Ngannou. Glad to have you along for the ride. All right, we have 4 minutes until our next giveaway, so it's coming up soon. But what do you want to talk about first here with NFL Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, people are. This is going to be an interesting week for protocols. We had several Chiefs test positive that are. I don't know if they're 100% ruled out, but one thing I do know is that Joey Bosa on the other side is ruled, or the Chargers are also going through something, and a lot of their players are ruled out too. So it's going to be another one of those weeks, just like Thanksgiving, where we are going to do our best to do a podcast, but at the same time, whatever we do, the podcast, if we do it early, there's going to be a lot of things that change. If we do it late, there's still going to be a lot of things that change. So just keep an eye out for that. That would be my main thing, and that's kind of the mantra that I've been sticking with over the past month. Like, we can give you guys all the content in the world, and sometimes it's just better for us if we put it out late so that we actually give you the right calls instead of having you guys overexpose yourself and feel comfortable. The worst thing that you can do is put yourself in a scenario with NBA or NFL or whatever sport you're providing for, where you feel so comfortable and lock in plays 5 hours before the slate starts, or 3 days in the NFL's case before the slate, and you don't want to get off those plays anymore, even though they're not the right ones anymore. So that's kind of what I picture this rest of NFL season being. If you want to elaborate on that for the NBA side of things.
Yeah, I mean it's I think more than any other sport that's the case with NBA, right? Like if you get comfortable with your lineup 5 hours before lock, you are at a severe disadvantage, not taking advantage of all the news that we get. So that's definitely the case for NBA. Always has been the case for NBA. And yeah, you definitely don't want to get locked in there too early. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if you saw this, but we just got a list of Jets that are out right now due to COVID
Oh no.
protocols. This is a fun one to listen to. So give me a second. Let me pull it up again. Um, Man, of course I scrolled past it. Was it even on Twitter? I don't know. It included a list of 15 guys. Robert Sala was on that list. Michael Carter was on that list. Like they were just without a lot of guys today. So that Jets team really struggling.
Yikes, that's rough. I mean, they already had their season's already done, so maybe it's a point to where we can talk about them DFS wise, because that's probably the only format that they're even playable in.
Are they even playable with
Unless I
Zach
don't know,
Wilson at the helm, man? Like,
like, do you have? You're the guy that still has their fantasy seasons alive. Do you have any Jets?
that's a really good question. I don't think I do. I don't think winning teams probably have any Jets players at this moment. Maybe an Elijah Moore here and there, but nothing else for me at the very least.
Sorry, I'm just getting a midstream announcement out. We still got a half a stream left to go, guys.
Yeah,
So if you
still
thought
a
you
lot
saw
of time.
anything yet, it's we got a long way to go still.
Yes, a very long way to go indeed. That list I just found it. It was put out by Schefter. Robert Sala, Michael Carter, Elijah Moore, Vera Tucker, who's a guard, Foley Fatuski, who's a D lineman, John Franklin Myers, Justin Hardy, Nearsman, Jeff Smith, Blake Cat, a lot of guys that probably no one knows about, but it's a very long list at this point.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess we'll just wait and see if they're actually going to be good to go. Otherwise, I mean, people played Michael Carter last week, and I didn't hate it. I didn't love it either. As far as this goes, though, no pass catcher is playable with Zach Wilson, unless your name was Corey Davis, but now you're hurt, so it's whatever. But they have the Jaguars, and that's why it's relevant. So just keep an eye on it. I think this is a nice spot for the Jaguars to, I guess, get a win. We can talk about, let's just talk about this game next because I took a victory lap the other day saying, like, this is one of the games that I wanted to stay away and felt like a trap all week long. Houston and Jacksonville. Jacksonville firing their coach midway through the week. They're talking about all this hype. Carlos Hyde's who ruled out for the rest of the season, and everybody's flying up on the Jaguars train, even though Houston beat them by like 20 in the first week of the year. And lo and behold, Houston beat Jacksonville by 20 in the second meeting of the year.
No.
So I think that the Jaguars still have a lot to figure out. I think that just because Urban Meyer is gone does not mean that their offensive play calling is any better. We saw Bevel. Oh, we've been preaching this since the first preseason game in August.
Yeah, we
That this
have.
this offensive coordination situation is horrendous. And that's
No.
what happens when you give your head coach, coming from college, not experienced in the NFL, the ability to hire your other coaches and
Mhm.
your coaching staff. And that's exactly what happened here. And the Jaguars would be surprised if they put up 20 points in this spot, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I that is probably one of our biggest victory laps of the season. Just talking shit about this Jaguars coaching staff for nearly all of preseason, and then it definitely coming true because you've seen this Jaguars team just be anemic with their offensive game plan. I don't know the James Robinson play, like it. I don't know his price tag even come this Sunday, but I imagine like he's going to be heavily owned. He's probably going to be a lock and load everywhere. Like I want to hear your thoughts here because I don't know. It's still a good play, right? He finally got the carries that he should have, but is this somewhere that you're looking?
I mean, you kind of have to give it a bunch of consideration. His price tag is probably higher than it should be. I'll actually look right now because I'm interested, but um, I have not seen it yet. I would assume that it's probably in the mid sevens, and that's probably right where it should be. He's going to be the highest running back on the slate, though, unless we get some major news, which I'm sure we will. So, chat, help me out, help Josh and I out. What is it? What are James Robinson's price tags on FanDuel and DraftKings?
8,200 according to Teddy Q Stacks. He didn't classify FanDuel or DraftKings, but that sounds like a FanDuel price tag.
Yikes! That's all I
That's
have to
a
say.
that's a little cheap, right?
Oh, I was going to say it's a little expensive, but
Really?
uh,
I
a
mean, like
little bit.
against the
You
Jets,
still hit,
man. Like this
you'll
is like
still
the
hit value.
Baltimore Orioles bullpen of the NFL. Like that's how bad this defense is.
Yeah, I mean, he did well yesterday or last week, so I'll give it to him. He kind of disappeared in the second half, though. So I think that this is fine. I also wouldn't put it past them to 5,900 on DK is very, very,
That's
he'll
that.
be 90% owned, but um 8,200 makes you think about it a little bit, in my opinion.
I don't know if it does. I don't know. I think this is too good of a spot to ignore. But the chat agrees with you that that's kind of high. So we'll just have to see. 5,900 on DK is insane. That sounds like a stupid price tag that he's at. So before we move on, let's give away a prize, right? I'm a little bit late for this, aren't I? Yes, I
Probably.
am. I'm late by 3 minutes here, but we're gonna do it anyway. 250 Roto Radar bucks. Talked about how 100 gets you almost to the MMA season pass. 250 gets you all the way or close to all the way in outside of 50 Roto Radar bucks. So 250 are our bucks up for grabs, like Jay Block just said in the chat. We are going to give this to. You know what? No, I'm going to give it off to you again. Who are we picking, Jared? It's easier
All
to give it
right.
off to you.
Since we have a half hour left and a few things to give away, we're starting to make things a little bit harder for you guys. So comment your favorite Christmas drink and post it in the chat, and I'll pick somebody who does that.
Beautiful, love it. All right, we'll pick that as we get a little bit later on. But anything else to talk about in this game for NFL Sunday? If not, we should move on to another one because this one certainly is ugly.
Yeah, it is. Is my stream broken? Because I think I broke them. Oh, there we go. The first, the first.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I hope that the chat's delayed a little bit with that one. Okay. Um, I'll just pick a winner here in a moment, but let's talk about. Let's see. Still on the Christmas slate. This is what happens when we do an hour and a half stream.
What is happening here? Why are we congratsing Little Italy? Did
I don't know.
someone? Okay, okay, whatever. We're going with
Um,
all these drinks. Lots of good drinks, man.
all right. Let's talk about Rams Vikings first because I don't want to talk about Lions Falcons yet.
I'm
Um,
down.
what talk about a dumpster fire of a game? All right, let's go. All right, let's give this one to Bree812 Sprite Cranberry. That's the one that stood out to me.
Ooh, good old Sprite Cranberry. Very good. All right, let's talk about the Rams and the Vikings. Vikings fighting for their playoff lives. Rams fighting to keep up in the division. What are you thinking about this one? This one is in Minnesota, so it's in a dome. If that gives you some comfort on this Rams team.
It doesn't really give me comfort either way. Both these teams are. I don't know. Stafford, like the Rams offense just looked kind of inept yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know what if they're trying to get Henderson back. Maybe Seattle's defense just stepped up because their playoff, that was pretty much their season last night. So it looks like this offense just flows through Cooper Cup. And frankly, I don't think anybody, we looked at the Rams schedule. I don't think anybody's going to stop that. I don't think they have any chance to stop it.
Yeah, I would tend to agree that they don't have much of a chance to stop it. It's going to be interesting in this game, man. You're going to really see. You can see the Rams lose a bad one here. I feel like the Vikings have some upset potential, and I'm curious to see what Bet Online thinks about that because, yeah, I mean, Bet Online agrees with me that this game's going to be close, right? Rams 3-point favorites here, over under at 49.5. So basically, it's going to be like every Vikings game. It's going to come down to the last possession, and it's going to be very high scoring.
Yeah, I think that this one is a very, very solid game for DFS. I would definitely stack it. Just looking early. Again, it's so early to make these kind of calls as it is Wednesday, but I want to give you guys some NFL content because we're off on streams the next 2 days. So right now, yeah, like you said, man, I don't know. I mean, do you think the Vikings should be only 3-point dogs here? It seems kind of weird, but I guess it is not a primetime game with Kirk. It is a regular season Kirk game.
Yeah, it is a regular season Kirk game, so I don't know, man. It's gonna be definitely enticing. Before we keep moving on, though, I have a giveaway to do. We have to give away our what is this? Our fourth to last prize. So we still got 33% of the giveaways. Our next prize is one that I know I'm excited for: a 2022 esports season pass. Y'all know Anthony. Y'all know how good Anthony is at damn esports, and he kills it every single year. It feels like he's along the hockey Mike side of just not talked about enough, but absolutely ends up dominating. And he's done that definitely through 2021. He did it in 2020, and we're excited to see him do it in 2022.
Yeah, the esports legend himself.
Yeah,
One of the most consistent pros in the history of the company. So,
yeah,
yeah, he's amazing. And with his season pass, just like MMA, you get the entire calendar year, which
yep.
includes literally everything. And he does not sleep. I told him that he had to take 2 days off this week, and he said no. And
Yeah.
he he didn't even like we talked about this the other day. So sorry, Anthony, I've given away too much information, but he did not take off the day that he was supposed to.
No, of course he didn't, because typical Anthony, right?
Yeah.
Anthony's the best. His content is absolutely incredible. So make sure to, if you're not going to get this prize, then to sign up. But let's give this away. We are going to give away the 2022 Esports Season Pass to man. We'll give it to WMCL23. Congratulations. You just won a 2022 Esports Season Pass. 3 giveaways left, and three of the best giveaways, in my opinion. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But, Jared, what game do you want to talk about next year?
Next game we should talk about, I guess, if we have to, is the Falcons Lions game.
Ooh,
This is technically the Falcons winner go home game, and the Lions are coming off of a huge, huge victory. So, thank you, Chris the Fed, for the sub. That's just my way of delaying talking about this game even more. Uh, but yeah, I mean, the Falcons are 5.5 point favorites at home. Detroit's played both of their games at home. They've won both of their games at home. So on the road, I just don't see it happening. But they have said that they're limiting Cordero Patterson's snaps a little bit. Man, it's just like can Kyle Pitts finally catch a touchdown pass in a game that's not in London? Because he doesn't even have any in the States. It's just one
No,
in London this entire
that's
year.
crazy. Yeah, man, he's struggled. I mean, like I know everyone wanted him to break out. We kind of warned people against it, just saying that like it's going to be hard for him to break out. Rookie tight ends usually don't have big seasons. And that was the case for him. He really just didn't do much. So this is definitely a spot where he could. It's in a matchup that's pretty good for him, and probably the best he's going to get all year with the Bills and Saints coming up next. So it might be now or never for Kyle Pitts, and I think he should be able to get the job done. So I don't know. It's a good matchup. I'd at least. It's hard to play anyone on this Falcons team, but in GPPs, there's definitely some solid plays here.
Uh, Chris the Fed says, "Oh, do we have to play Mike Davis in PPR?" Yes, I still have him. I mean, you're the Mike Davis guy. I don't really know what
I
to say
am the
much
Mike
more about
Davis
him
side.
anymore.
I'm sad about Mike Davis, man. I didn't want to talk about him.
Well, I'm sad about Calvin Ridley, so I can feel that.
There you go. We're both sad about a Falcon. Yeah, I think it actually is time to start looking at Mike Davis. I don't even know what his touches look like as of right now, but I'd be curious to
Not
see
good.
what. Not good. Never mind. Scratch
Not good.
everything I've said. We're moving on. No Mike Davis love, and probably not much love for this Falcons team. Is there love for the Lions though? They're getting DeAndre Swift back this week. If he's without Jamal Williams, like, is this the potential spot for a DeAndre
Yikes.
Swift play?
I think DeAndre Swift's out for the year, by the way.
Is he
Uh,
really?
yeah, I think they shut him and TJ Hawkinson down. Um, they signed like Craig Reynolds or whatever his name was. Uh, is that his name? I hope it's
Yes,
not.
Craig
But
Reynolds. It is Craig
okay.
Reynolds.
Oh man, he got like 26 cut touches the other day
I
against the
know.
Cardinals. Anyway, no, I think that so I'm not going to say this much. I think I've said it only once this year, and it's right now. I think that you can load up on Goff and his pass catchers in tournaments in this spot. I really think so. I think that even though Detroit could fall flat on their face, I think there's a real shot here where you could pair him up with Amon-Ra St. Brown, drug tested and all, and then you could also pair him with Josh Reynolds and feel really good about things. If I'm being completely honest,
Yeah, dude, this is not. He's not. He's definitely not out. He returned to practice yesterday.
DeAndre Swift. Oh, I thought they were talking about shutting him down.
Yeah, no, look, I'm not crazy here. All right, I was thinking like, yeah, maybe I'm wrong here, but I just posted it in the chat. He just returned to practice this week.
Uh, I wouldn't count on that at all, though. I mean, they could just say, "Hey, you're done,"
Yeah, they
but maybe
could.
not. Maybe not though. It sounds weird. Like their running back situation. They're actually deep, but none of them are good. So it's weird. But TJ Hawkinson's definitely shut down for the year.
Yes, TJ Hawkinson is shut down for the year. I know that for a fact. All right, where are? Oh, I still got a minute left. Okay. Um, is there anything? So back to the original conversation here. Is there anything on the Lions side that seems appealing here in DFS?
Yeah, I still think you can double stack with Goff if you want to pick one guy. I think the field will probably be heavier on Amon-Ra St. Brown this week. I don't mind going to Josh Reynolds at lower ownership. I think that's fine. I mean, the team totals for both of these teams are garbage. I don't think Detroit's getting even like 17 points in this spot. I think that the team total for Atlanta is like 22. So
Wow.
it's not a great game from that aspect, but it does have shootout potential. Like it could turn into a 27-24 game. And the way that the ball is being spread around, it's fairly concentrated on both sides.
Yep, it definitely is concentrated on both sides. People are making fun of you in the chat. Someone said
Good.
Jared forgot to add coffee to his spiked coffee. I think that's the top. I think that's the top one right now. Someone said Amon Ra is on fire. Amon Ra certainly is on fire. And look, I got a giveaway right. It's exactly 110, so that means time to give away something else. These last three prizes are the big ones, so I'm super pumped about them. The first prize though that we're giving away is a $99 NFL jersey of choice. So you get to pick out the jersey. We'll end up buying it for you. We'll get it shipped to you and all that. And yeah, it's a really awesome prize that I know people love the NFL. You know, it's a very like sport. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be interested in the jersey. Someone's already saying they want a Nick Bosa jersey. I like the take there. But if you could get a jersey right now, where would it be, Jared?
Oh, hands down. Like, okay, so before I say my answer, whoever comments in the chat with their jersey that they would want to have, just put it in the chat right now. We'll pick from there.
Yeah.
Uh, it's not close for me, so I'll give two answers. But the first one is Cooper Cup, hands down. Like that,
Yeah.
I've wanted a Cooper Cup jersey for a long time. So I think I have to actually do it this year and
There you
back
go.
somebody. I think
Yeah.
he's my favorite fantasy player, and it's tough to say that over Devontae Adams.
Yeah. I was
So,
about to say, I definitely
um,
think Adams would be your choice there, but
yeah, actually, for it's kind of well, actually, I don't wear my Adams jersey. It's actually like right, it's on my ground right on the ground right now.
uh huh.
It's signed and has like a little memorabilia sticker thing attached to it, so I don't get to touch that one.
Uh huh.
Um, let's see. Outside of Cooper Cup, what would I do?
I know this one for
Hmm.
sure in my head.
Okay, give yours then.
I just gotta up my Niners collection a little bit because I have a few, but I don't have too many. I really want a Debo one, man. Like I wasn't sure of it until this season because he was so back and forth, and I really thought he was gonna struggle after that injury. But he's been amazing this year, and I think he's a long term piece for the Niners. So either Debo Samuel or Fred Warner. I'd really like a Fred Warner jersey as well.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, for sure on yours. I don't even know why I didn't think of this earlier. But thank you, Chris the Fed, as the Colts fan. Jonathan Taylor, easy
Yeah,
choice. Wisconsin running back, Wisconsin all-time running back.
there you go.
Uh, the 1.1 overall pick next year in fantasy.
Yeah, probably or most definitely. Here's my question for you. You talked about where your pick is. I'll talk about where one of my guys would be. Where do you think Debo Samuel's getting drafted next year? Like fourth round and up,
Ooh,
probably. Right? Probably earlier than
uh,
fourth.
there will be injury scares, so I guess it seems to like at what point? I think second round. I think second
Yeah.
round. Um, if he breaks the touchdown record, then he'll be in that tier. Where do we slot Justin Jefferson and Cooper Cup in the first round next year? Do we give them that title?
Yeah, I think so. I think you give them I think honestly they're alongside the Devonte Adams and Tyreek Hills, and I think you can make the case at least a little bit that those guys. I don't know if either one of them come first, but they might come second when it comes to that conversation of those four wide receivers. So we were taking wide receivers at the end of the first round, sometimes towards up 1.5. I feel like you probably see it midway through the round or late in the round for those guys.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay, I have my winner. I've had it for a little bit. So this guy has been hanging out with us since day one in September, and we appreciate you hanging out literally every day for every stream. So Bacon, congrats! You just got yourself a Justin Jefferson jersey.
No one more deserving. You're truly honest when you say he's hung out. He's been in here almost every single damn show that we've been on. So we greatly appreciate you hanging out. Stick around. There's still plenty more to give away. In fact, I have another prize to give away in just 3 minutes. But are we talking about an NFL Sunday game right now? Are we moving on to another one? What are we doing?
Well, everybody forgot that we talked about the Lions, including myself. So
Yeah,
that's what we need to move on from.
yeah, we definitely need to move on from that. So let's stop talking about the Lions. Start talking about another game that might be somewhat better, a divisional rivalry here. The Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Bengals 2.5 point favorites, over under at 45.5. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be one of those games that I was talking about that's going to help you figure out what the hell is going to happen in the AFC North because you won't have a rightful favorite necessarily, but I feel like whoever wins this game probably walks away with an AFC North title. What are your thoughts on this one?
Oh, do we even know who's starting? That's sort of the real question.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
I
know.
don't think we do.
Do you roll out? Oh man, this is such a tough call. So first, let's recap what happened on Sunday in the Baltimore on the Baltimore sideline. So before this was a thing that was announced and released by NFL Films. So if you're interested in this video, it's up on Twitter right now from earlier this week. They posted footage of that last possession by the Ravens, and they took a timeout in a goal to go situation, and Harbaugh was talking to Tyler Huntley and said like, "Hey, if we score, we're going." So he said, "Not if." He said, "When we score, what do you want to do? Do you want to go for two or do you want to go to overtime?" And he said, like he and Mark Andrews both said, "We're going for two." At that point, they had already connected for 10 for like 150 and two touchdowns. So that I am on the side of always trusting your players, and like the coach player trust is what makes that decision. And many teams don't have that kind of chemistry. You see the same thing with the LA Chargers. Both of those teams have failed in that situation this week. So, with that being said, I think the Ravens made the right call. And if I was, since I was watching the game, I was very terrified of. Now I know I feel very comfortable with Aaron Rodgers in overtime situations, but they're at home. I think it was the right call there. I want to get the chat's thoughts on that. But with all that being said, now we circle back into this week. Tyler Huntley comes off a loss. Lamar probably won't practice this week at all. And do you back Tyler Huntley in a win or go home situation? Because for me, this is the game of the year for both of these teams.
Yeah.
Whoever wins will get division title, and whoever loses is probably knocked out of the playoffs. So, do you back Joe Burrow or do you back Tyler Huntley? Do you feel comfortable with Lamar at quarterback? Because I don't.
No, neither do I. I feel like you probably stick with Tyler Huntley and you probably just let it roll. I mean, you were pretty close against a Packers team that's getting, it's early on is getting very close to being a favorite for the Super Bowl. So like I think that you you kept it close against them with Huntley. I think you'll be able to keep it close with the Bengals with Huntley. I think you keep Huntley in. And I mean, I don't know. I side with the Bengals winning this one. I think BetOnline has it lined perfectly, putting it at -2.5. This is going to be a really close game, I think, and I think the Bengals come out on top.
I would like to think so and hope so, but they haven't really shown much on offense lately. They did beat a good Denver Broncos team, but didn't put up many points, and I think we're going to see something similar here.
Yeah.
I do think that the two X factors, Jamar Chase against this secondary that could have Jimmy Smith back, but it seems like it could be unlikely. And then Joe Mixon. If Joe Mixon can do something in this game, where he's been limited in the last several, I think that they have a really good shot here. Both defenses I don't trust, so it's going to be up to these offensive pieces for the Bengals to get the job done.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. All right. We've hit 117. We have another prize to give away. In this one, probably one that people are going to get pretty excited about. $100 cash straight from us to you, straight from our radar into your hands. $100 cash. Second to last giveaway. So there's still one more prize that's even more exciting than this. But $100 cash. I'm sure it can help a lot of people during the holidays. So, if you want it, say something in the chat. I'll choose from the people in the chat. I want to make sure that it's a person that's active. But Jared, this game's certainly going to be a good one.
Yeah, what game are we talking about? I don't think we talked about anything.
The Bengals and the Ravens. I was still on that
Okay,
one. I know.
okay,
I
okay.
had to. Well, honestly, I tossed it to you like that because I was like, I don't know what game we're talking about. Hopefully, it was
No,
a
no,
good
no.
one.
Yeah, no, that should be a really ugly but satisfyingly good to watch from a player's perspective and from a viewership perspective on the 1 p.m. slate. Rams Vikings is probably like the tournament game that everybody's going to target. But yeah, we'll talk about a few other ones here. Since we're getting to the end of the stream, I don't want to give it all away, so we're going to save some stuff for behind the paywall this week, um, to give you guys content for over the weekend. Let's talk about Bills Patriots. Do we really not? Okay, let me zoom out on the schedule here. I think we're waiting on a few things, or do we actually have two afternoon games on Sunday and that's it?
I think we actually have two afternoon games on Sunday. Then
What a
maybe.
bummer.
Yeah, what a big bummer for me. That's really actually kind of sucky, but it is what
You
it
no,
is.
we have three. Just one of them doesn't have odds on it. Oh, it's Steelers.
Oh,
Steelers Chiefs doesn't have odds. No wonder. Go
yeah,
figure. So okay. Let's talk about the Bills Patriots game because
yeah,
that is going to ultimately decide the AFC North. Bills have a shot if they win. Patriots would clinch if they would win. So Bills wouldn't be out of the playoffs, but it would make their lives a lot harder. And I'm kind of it's kind of exciting that the NFL gave these two teams two second half of the season matchups. where weather will play an impact. We saw the wind game in that first one. Do you think the Patriots come in with a different game plan, or do you think that they run the ball 40 times again?
Um, I think they do come in with a different game plan. I am curious to see. Yeah, weather's going to be sunny at kickoff. So I think they come in with a different game plan. I think you do see Mac Jones being a little bit more involved. Not much more involved, though. I do think you limit what he does because of him looking, well, like a rookie last week, because that's what he looked like on the field against the Colts. I don't know, man. I think this one's going to be a lot closer. I don't think this one's going to be as much of a as much. The first game wasn't even a blowout necessarily, but the Patriots felt like they had that under control for quite a while. So I think that this game's going to be closer, but I side with the Patriots being at home.
I think it's more about the Patriots defense and how they're able to limit the passing game for the Bills. Keep an eye on a few things for Buffalo. Emmanuel Sanders, season finally caught up to him. He was out last week and he might be out this week again due to injury. Also, the most ironic thing of the year that we haven't talked about yet, and I don't want to again, don't want to get political with any of this stuff ever, but it's the most ironic thing in the world that Cole Beasley tested positive for COVID. So he's
Yeah,
probably out on Sunday because he's not vaccinated.
yeah. Definitely pretty ironic about him getting COVID because, yeah. Again, don't want to get too political with it, though. All right. Anything else you want to talk about for. We could probably have time to talk about one more game, then some Christmas stuff, and then we can get off the stream. But is there one more game that you want to highlight before we get out of here?
We'll talk one more football game and then we will just chat Christmas stuff for the next 10 minutes with you
Yep.
guys. Let's talk about. I'm going to save Pittsburgh and Kansas City for the members behind the paywall because honestly, that we don't know anything there, and that's going to decide the slate. So, um, Giants Eagles really quickly, and we'll combine that with Chargers Texans because there's not much to talk about for the underdogs here. But I think Jake Fromm does get the start against the
Hmm.
Eagles. He looked good in the second half of that game, but
Yeah, I
I just
did.
don't think it's enough. So I think he will be okay. Wouldn't be surprised to see if the Giants gave him the floor the rest of the season. Uh, that's going to be his tryouts for next year. So there's a real chance that the Giants move on and trade and try to get Russell Wilson, but we'll see. We talked about that yesterday on the show. Um, Eagles looked great last night. If they run the ball, they'll be able to beat this team, and their defense should show up eventually. Chargers on the other side of the Chargers Texans game. Not much to talk about here. Biggest story would be Austin Eckler missing. We'll see what his status is, but he is, from what I read, more doubtful than I thought coming into the week. So, any love for Justin Jackson, who would be the primary guy to back him up?
Um, Wait, did you just say Eckler's on COVID-19?
I think that he was pretty doubtful for this game.
I don't. Is he really? Is injury wise? Or is it COVID? Because
Uh,
they announced yesterday that he wasn't on the COVID list, that they made a mistake.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I know this threw me for a tizzy too because I was looking through who to pick up yesterday, and a lot of people were picking up Justin Jackson, and I was like, "What happened to Eckler?" And it said he was on the COVID-19 list, but if you read I was on Sleeper when I saw this. If you read the Sleeper article, it says how they made a mistake and he was pulled off essentially. I might be
Yeah,
wrong in
no,
all of it. I
Twitter.
have no
No, no,
clue.
no. You're right. Twitter's flipping out about this, so
Yeah,
it makes sense. Yeah, okay, this makes for good content because that would have been interesting. Um,
yeah.
he also he just tweeted 15 minutes ago stating, "Appreciate everybody who has reached out," with a prayer emoji. So I don't know what that means.
What? So
Um,
confusing. Okay,
maybe he's trolling. Maybe he's
maybe.
trolling.
Yeah,
That would
definitely
be
could
funny
be.
if he was. But yeah, keep an eye on that because whoever running back for the Chargers is going off this week.
Yeah, I would tend to agree, and I think that could be Eckler. So Eckler could have a very big day against this team. And is there any reason to play Jake Fromm this week? Like GPPs maybe in on Draftkings, try to get him as a cheap quarterback because I do really think he looked impressive during that second half, and it might just be a thing where people haven't seen film on him, so he might end up being okay.
Not this week. I
Not
mean,
this
if you had,
week.
a, he had like if the Eagles secondary is tough, so I'm not going to target that. But I mean, the Giants, I guess we'll see. Um, who do they have here? They have the Bears in January, and then they play Washington. So maybe, but I'm not gonna like. I don't know. Maybe the Bears would be an interesting matchup there, but it'll be a gross game no matter what game it is.
Yeah,
I
for
do you think like if he has any healthy receivers that he can throw the ball to, that would help too.
that would help. That would be the thing that helps the most for from there. All right, we've gotten NFL talk done for the day. I think we have 5 minutes left on stream. I have to give the $100 away, and then I'll announce the next prize. We're giving the $100 to Boucher. He took the day off of work to chill with us, and he said thank you for the stream. So Boucher 28, thank you very much. We'll get in contact with you, and we greatly appreciate you hanging out. He's also been someone who's also been here every day of the stream, and so him being around definitely influences that decision there. We have one more prize left, and I think this is the granddaddy of all of them because it's one that's near and dear to my heart. 2000 or 2022 MLB All Access Season Pass. I mean, like, this is top notch stuff, man. MLB season was great to us last year. MLB season is always good to us, and getting both sides, so you get corn as well, and me, my GPP stuff, and Sean's cash game stuff. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, it doesn't, and it's right around the corner too. I know that we are currently in lockout right now, but that's not going to move anything back more than a couple weeks. So we're pumped for it. We wanted to give it out. This is right around the time of the year where we start to tease at least one thing out for the next sport. So we figured we'd end the stream today with that. And the next sport, the next major sport coming out is MLB. So figured we would end the stream and end the calendar year with that announcement. So one person at the end of the stream in a couple of minutes is going to walk away with the first MLB All Access season pass of the new season.
Yeah, to qualify for the pass, you have 3 minutes. You get to put something in the chat. Tell us what you're most looking forward to with the next MLB season. All right, Jared, let's just talk Christmas stuff, man. What are your Christmas plans this year?
Christmas plans are pretty simple. Friday, I'm off technically, and there's no basketball or football to worry about necessarily. So we'll be doing stuff with the immediate family this year, since I saw most of my mom's side of the family last week. And then on Saturday for Christmas, we are doing my dad's side of the family, and I'll have to multitask. We're hosting, or my parents are hosting both of those on back-to-back days, and I have to multitask by doing NFL content. But yeah, we'll get the job done. I usually am in charge of making some food, just like Thanksgiving, so I'll have my hands full on Saturday. But yeah, it's gonna be an exciting day.
Going to be a really fun day. I know for me, we have the Niners game on the 23rd. Then that next morning, my birthday, we fly to Maine. And then we hang out with the in laws for the weekend, or for the week, I think. I'm up in Maine for the next week. So, yeah, we get to have Christmas morning there. Had Christmas morning there last year. It was a lot of fun. Saw my side of the family during Thanksgiving. So, giving some love to that side of the family. And not exactly the most excited to be flying on my birthday, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you got to take one for the team, and that is the reason that December 24th is the worst birthday imaginable.
You just gotta sleep through it, man. Just
Yeah, I really do, man. Like, just sleep through it, and or I remember when I was a kid, I hated the birthday as well. It sucked, and my mom always suggested, just have a half birthday, just cut it in, like do the halfway through the year. Do I think it's July? No, it'd be June 24th instead, and have that be your birthday. And it's like it doesn't work like that. Like it's December 24th, the birthday, and I've got to live with it.
Yeah. I was gonna say you're gonna be probably having a few drinks at the Niners game. You might as well just, stay up a little
Yeah.
bit longer and then fall asleep when you get to the airport.
No, man, we're gonna carry it to the airport. We're gonna drink on the plane too. We're gonna. It's my birthday. I can do whatever I want. I can get
There
drinks
you
if I
go.
want to. All right. Yeah. Fatty McGee gets it. December 24th. Ouch. Hate the double. A birthday and Christmas presents. Yeah. I know anyone that has a birthday around this time knows my pain or knows my struggle. Um. Anyway, we have an MLB All Access season pass to give away. You want to give this one away, or do you want me to?
Yeah, no, let's do it. We picked this winner a couple minutes ago between the two of us. So, the first person to have the 2022 MLB All Access Season Pass for the new season, congrats, D. Persive. You have won the 2022 MLB All Access Pass. Congratulations, sir.
Yes, congratulations. And just like in Roto Radar time, we're going to be going a little bit over, but just want to say thank you to the family out there. I know you guys have really been through us through thick and thin, and it's been great. It's been a great year, man. It's 2021 was a lot of fun. We plan on making 2022 even better than 2021 was, and it's going to be a good time. So, any final thoughts here? And I guess give a thank you to our sponsors over at BOL.
Yeah, now for the last since the week after Labor Day, we've been doing these streams, a lot of them twice a day, Monday through Friday. So we appreciate all of you guys for hanging out. Also appreciate Bet Online for being the sponsor for every single one of those streams. We're looking to carry that over into the new year. So keep an eye out for new things related to our streaming content. We have a lot of exciting things going on. Sneak peek, we might even be doing some live streaming of some sports stuff
Yeah.
over the weekend. Not this weekend, but weekends moving forward. So just keep an eye on little things like that. We have a lot of plans for 2022 coming up. But we wanted to do this before we got there and really give a recap of 2021 and thank all you guys for being a part of the family. Because honestly, if it weren't for any of you guys watching this, Josh and I definitely wouldn't be here. So
Yeah.
we appreciate all of that and definitely look forward to ending the year and all of our seasons on a high note.
Yes, for sure, without a doubt. Can't wait for what 2022 holds, and I'm specifically excited about the tease you just gave away. I'm that's going to be something big that we're going to have a lot of fun with. All right, I am looking for where man. You guys have been talking so much today. I don't think Nightbot has had a chance to put it in the chat, but thank you to our friends over at BOL. They're the guys who keep the lights on over here. They're the guys who helped us with this giveaway stream, and we couldn't be more appreciative of them. So thank you so much to Bet Online. If you have not signed up with Bet Online, don't do it yet. Keep an eye out for a Roto Radar announcement because there's something big that's going on in a few days that I think might even blow us out of the water. And it's something to do with
Yeah.
Mr. Santa Sean himself.
Yep, there's a reason he hasn't been on this stream. It's
Yeah.
because he's hard working on something else for you guys. So while you think that we gave a lot away today, just wait because there's a lot more coming. So if you didn't win today, there are still hopes for the rest of your week and a half here of 2021. We still have a lot to go. So while we gave
No.
away 12 prizes today, just keep an eye out on a lot of more things coming. So Sean, if I know him as well as I think I do, he doesn't want to be stood up by both of us, and he will
No.
try his best to outdo us in this manner, which I think he might succeed this year.
I think he might, at least from the early looks of it. He definitely might. So Santa Sean will definitely be full effect very soon, and you guys need to make sure to keep an eye out. Fatty McGee says he's got big shoes to fill. Well, we greatly appreciate that. Oh, here at the morning after show, Jared, I think we're all done here. I think you can go take a nap. You don't have much else to do today after you got your spiked coffee, and I start my week off right now, so I'm excited for that. But thank you guys again for hanging out. Can't wait for 2022 and what it holds. As always, my name is Joshua Reimer. Good morning and good skill.